Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the General Government Committee. The now is now 5:37, and I'm calling this meeting to order. We do have Councilor Walsh, who will be joining us here shortly, and that will make a full quorum of the subcommittee of the General Government of the Springfield City Council. Today is the 29th, correct?
Yep.
And here with us, we are joined by Councilor here in presence, Councilor Govan. Thank you for joining us. We also have remotely Councilor Click Bruce. Welcome, Councilor Bruce. And then, as I mentioned, we have Councilor Walsh will be here shortly. Today we are here. We're going to be discussing two appointments to a boards and commission. We have Ms. Vanna Nespor.
Vanna,
Nespor, and she will be filling a position from the Preservation Trust, correct, for the Historical Commission. And I do believe, Ms. Nespor, you are going to be filling in the position of Brian McFarland. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then we also have Vanessa Ford, the legendary Vanessa Ford, with a beautiful voice, a voice of an angel.
No, she let her in.
And what's the name?
Tracy's here.
Oh, Tracy. So, and then we have Vanessa Ford, who has been appointed to the Springfield Redevelopment Authority. We also have Councilor Whitfield, who just joined us. Hello, Councilor Whitfield.
Hello, Mr. Chair.
Excellent, excellent. I see you guys are driving. I'm assuming you guys are coming down for the 7 o'clock meeting. Please be careful and exercise due diligence when you're driving, coming down here to City Hall. So why don't we get started? Let's start with Ms. Van Nespor.
Yes.
The mayor appointed, sending appointment letter, which I hope all the councilors got in the mailbox. And if you allow me, I will read the letter into the record. City of Springfield, April 8th of 2024, addressed to the clerk, Gladys Viola. It reads, I hereby appoint Vanna Nespor of 48 Park Edge Avenue, Springfield, Massachusetts, as a member of the Historical Commission for an unexpired term until the first Monday in September of 2027. And certified that, in my opinion, Ms. Nespor is a person qualified to hold this position based on her commitment to the city, education, and experience to perform the duties of said office. And I make the appointment solely in the interest of the city. Ms. Nespor will be replacing Mr. Brian McFarland and is the nominee from the Springfield Preservation Trust, respectfully submitted by His Honor, the Mayor, Dominic Sarno. I do believe, Council, most of you, all of you should have received Ms. Nespor's resume in your mailbox as well. And before I turn it over to Ms. Nespor, just to hear a little bit about yourself, Ms. Nespor, I just want to remind the audience that the Historical Commission has a total of 11 members. I do believe Ms. Nespor will make the 7th member. And we still have 4 positions that are open, and those are the alternate positions, as the information that I have now. So Ms. Nespor, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your education background. Just tell us who you are and why you want to serve in the Historical Commission.
My husband and I moved here permanently in retirement in 2014. We bought a house in Park Edge that has become our forever house. And it is the 5th house that we've renovated. They're all antiques that we restore. So we enjoy them and know how hard it is to finance that, to keep it historically accurate and yet be able to make it livable and comfortable. So I've been serving as the president for the Springfield Garden Club.
Okay.
And I am now the district chair for 22 clubs in Western Mass.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I get to travel a lot and see them, which is lovely. But I felt like I'm a member of the Preservation Trust and enjoy meeting with them and looking at what's being done and what they have accomplished. So my hope is that I can serve them well and help the community. I think it's very hard if you're in a historic district to know exactly how to meet those when you want to change your windows, your doors. So my educational background, I think, would be helpful.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? I see you're a doctor.
Yes.
You have a doctor's degree, my apologies, Dr. Nesport. Adult and Guided Independent Studies. Can you
Correct.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. In the 70s and 80s, I was working with adult women who were returning to college for a college in West Virginia.
Yep.
And I realized I just didn't know enough how to support them. These were single mothers, very low income. And so I applied for a position or applied to the program at Columbia University Teachers College in New York. And spent 5 years finishing that degree. I would work full time and I'd get on the train and I'd be just like my women and I would go to school. And I learned a great deal. Independent Guided Study was about Teachers College wanted administrators of programs to have the opportunity to learn how to research carefully and appropriately.
Mhm.
That's why I went back. And the other degrees I got because I didn't know enough.
But I'm sure they enhance who you are. Right.
Oh,
I have to say that, I mean, Dr. Nesport, that
hello.
you, welcome. We are joined by Councilor Tracy Councilor
Taylor
Taylor
Walsh.
Walsh. I haven't had my coffee yet. And with Councilor Walsh, we have a full forum of the subcommittee now. So Dr. Nesport, I see here, looking at your resume, you do have you worked in Indonesia
That's
at
correct.
the Jakarta International School in
Yes,
the English department.
yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? That caught my eye.
Yes, so I was in Pittsburgh. We just finished the doctorate. I'd finished my doctorate and my husband had the opportunity he works for the department, or did before he retired, Department of Interior, Office of Surface Mining. And Indonesia needed some help with the regulatory process at the federal level. So they offered to bring us over there for 3 years to live. Yes,
Okay.
paying all of our expenses. We were seconded to the State Department there, so we worked under the embassy. And spouses can't work if they work for the State Department unless it's a specialized thing like an international school, right? So I whipped out a very dusty teaching certificate, ran down to the international school and said, will you hire me? And they said, oh, yes, we have an opening.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful. I was there for 7 years, but it was during the time of Suharto
Okay.
when there were marches in the streets and we were evacuated 4 times.
Really?
And but it's an amazing country and my husband was there for 11, so I came back and worked here with Bay Path University.
Okay. And I think in Bay Path, so I see here you also caught my eye. You have a master's of science from Bay Path, Communication and Information Management.
Great.
It caught my eye because one of the things that I personally think, and I have said it many, many times, and will continue to say, is that we as government can do better at communicating with our constituents. So tell me, how would you use that experience of communication to bring it to the Historical Commission? And I say it because the Historical Commission, I know they do the best, okay? They try hard.
Yes.
So I guess I would love to hear your thoughts about how would you, bring that to the table in the Historical Commission, the communication aspect, and also, please forgive for my way of saying it. Do you know what you get yourself into? Because it's a busy board, and so okay, I'll let you answer that.
I know that the board oversees a lot of petitions for alterations to homes. So that's my understanding of the board's work. I'm sure it's much more than that. My sense is that it's very hard for some of the homeowners to quite understand what those responsibilities are, even if they fill out the forms.
Yeah.
So I think I might be able to help educationally and with, if they would allow me to create information and informational outlets, either videos, tapes, pamphlets, but also with open meetings to chat about what it is and why historical neighborhoods strengthen the city and strengthen their the worth of their homes. I think that's what they miss sometimes in the demands of,
Correct.
you must have these windows, okay?
Or you can't have these.
Or you
windows.
can't do those windows.
You
So
can't change that door.
So my last question before I turn it over to my colleagues is with Dr. Nespor. It's one of the things that myself and many other councilors are concerned about is with specifically with the historical commission is the amount of meetings that they have to cancel due to lack of quorum. You know, we operate by open meeting laws and we have to have a quorum, which means you have to have at least 5 members in the historical commission. So I realize life happens. But it is a very busy commission.
Yes.
And so what I want to ask you, do we have your public commitment that you will make most of the meetings? Because I know stuff will happen, it's being realistic, so that we can have a quorum and that people can have their petitions attended on time and people that invest, because there's timetables for them as well, which has an impact on the city, that you will make most of the meetings the historical commission.
Are they available in Zoom?
I do believe so, but that they will have their own internal, I believe they are, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but every board and commission decides how they function. I mean, there's things they have to follow, which are standard, like Robert's rules, and they're supposed to be taking minutes as well, which is something that, you know, we will talk later, but anyways, yes, absolutely. So they should be available.
I've made a great software that translates meeting video Zoom into text, really, and it's very accurate. So that's how I've been, you know, you still have to edit, but it really helps because it's hard to remember and it's very good with names, which is always a little problem.
Sounds like the city clerk needs to talk to you.
That's nice.
It sounds like we
Interesting.
should use it.
Nice. It's an AI, a new AI software.
Okay,
But
okay.
it works really well. I use it a lot for interviews because then I can question and I don't have to
Gotcha,
answer.
gotcha. All right.
But yes, I absolutely intend to make every meeting I possibly can. I think that this is important. People can't just wait forever for an answer.
That's correct. That's correct. All right, thank you, Dr. Nesper. I
Sure.
really appreciate your candidness. So I open the floor to any of my colleagues. Any questions?
No.
Starting on the Councilor Walsh?
Yes, well, I'm very impressed with your resume, but I am particularly impressed with Bay Path University because my daughter Mary Lee works there. And she was very excited when I called her today. As a matter of fact, sent this to her, so she would know that we were voting on somebody that worked.
Oh,
at Bay Path.
lovely.
Yes, and she has just invited Zaida and myself and through her office, which is STAT, and they work with alumni.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what her official title is, but through her efforts, the President daughter is going to be making an outreach into the community and trying to broaden her knowledge of and interest in and support of the Hispanic community, which I think is pretty
Excellent.
exciting. So
Excellent.
I'm going to vote yes.
Oh,
Because you're from Bay Path.
I'm
Thank you,
delighted.
Councilor Walsh. Councilor Goodwin, any questions?
No questions. I just want to thank you for considering serving in this position. I think it's a very important position for our city. And as has been said, I am impressed by your resume and your qualifications. I think that you'll be an asset to the committee. And I look forward to seeing the projects that get done in the upcoming years. So thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Councilor Whitfield, any questions, ma'am?
Sorry, I'm trying to be safe Counselor Davila coming back from Boston, but
That's okay.
no, I think the credentials are great. Glad that we have more women applying for the position, and thank you so much for the work you'll be doing on behalf of the city. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Councilor, Click.
No question. Thank you, and I plan on voting yes on it as well. Thank you for your
Thank
service.
you. Thank you, Councilor. Very well. Do you have anything you want to add, Dr. Nestor?
No, I'm very honored to be here and thank you.
Okay, very well. So Dr. Nestor, what we're gonna do before we move over to the next nominee, that will be Vanessa Ford. We will be voting today in a second on your nomination from the subcommittee. And this will elevate your nomination to the full chambers of the Springfield City Council. That will be happening next week, May 6th. May 6th, yeah, because today is a hearings meeting, so we vote on during the regular meeting. So we will require your presence next Monday, May 6th at 7 o'clock. And
In
please
this
do.
room?
No, it will be in the main chambers.
Chambers.
Me.
Yep, and so please kindly come prepared to answer possibly any questions that councils may have. And then I don't think it will be a problem, but I think they will hear what your thoughts, recommendations, and you will be officially blessed. And we become a commissioner at that time. Okay, any questions? No, very well. With that being said, do I have a motion for the positive recommendation for Dr. Vanna Nesport as suggested by His Honor the Mayor Dominic Sarno to be replaced in the Preservation Trust seat of the Historical Commission. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Walsh. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Councilor Whitfield, believe, did I hear you say yes? Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
yep. But either way, that sounds unanimous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It sounds unanimous. And so congratulations, Dr. Nesport.
Thank
You have voted you in the subcommittee, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, we look forward
May
to
6th.
working with you.
Absolutely, at 7 o'clock. Thank you so much. You're more than welcome to stay, or if you wanna
It's a
leave.
hearings night.
Well, she can stay at this meeting if
Yeah,
you
oh,
want.
Yeah, tonight you can say if you want, or if you
Oh,
have
okay.
other things you have to do,
Yeah,
you're more
I
than welcome
went
to go.
home. I think I just left everybody there.
There you
No
go.
problem.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
My daughter's fine.
It's wonderful. I will look forward to meeting her. If I-
Yes.
I've been gone for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Retirement is fun. Thank you.
Keep having fun.
Very well. All right, now let's go to our next appointee. And yes, indeed. And this one, I have to say that definitely brought a smile to my face. And this next appointee, it's truly a legend here in the city of Springfield. It's a young lady who has the voice of an angel. And most recently sang America the Beautiful at the superintendent ceremony. And I am talking of the one, the only, the intrepid, Miss Vanessa Victoria Ford. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Councilor Davila. I appreciate it, and I'm humbled by that introduction. But more importantly, I consider myself to be a blessed and faithful member and servant of the city of Springfield, born and raised. So thank you so much.
Sure, Vanessa, I'm gonna give you the floor in a second to give, similarly to what we did with the next point, you can give us a little bit of a flavor as to who you are and for the audience at home to know who you are. But please, let me read your appointment letter into the record, if I could. Springfield, Mass, the office of His Honor Mayor Dominic J. Sarno. Excuse me, April 11th, 2024, excuse me. Addressed to the city clerk, Ms. Gladys Ayola. I appoint Vanessa Ford of 37 Sycamore Street, Springfield, Mass, as a member of the Springfield Redevelopment Authority for an unexpired term until April 11th, 2029, and certified that, in my opinion, Ms. Ford is a person qualified to hold this position based on her commitment to the city and experience to perform the duties of said office, and I make the appointment solely in the interest of the city. Ms. Ford will be replacing Ms. Cheryl Stanley. Signed by the Mayor, Dominic J. Sardo. Vanessa, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you again so much, Councilor Davila. I appreciate the opportunity to be considered for this nomination. It's truly an honor to serve my city. I'm born and raised in Springfield. I am the product of my Nicaraguan mother and my Costa Rican father, who both were from Central America and traveled here from Panama in the 60s to pursue a life of prosperity and joy and safety for my family at the time. I'm the youngest of 8, and now I am considered myself to be a lifelong resident of Springfield and now a homeowner of this great city. And I'm thankful because over the years I've tried to find different ways to serve my city, all different aspects and sectors of the community where I'm asked and where I'm called. I always put my heart into it and try to do my best to see the need and to find my purpose in that space. I find it interesting to be nominated at this time in this season of my life, as I consider how important it is to be part of a city that's growing and thriving. And I often ask myself, how do I see myself as a mother and as a grandmother in a city where I call home and that I want to see prosper and provide opportunities of economic development for both my neighbors as well as for myself. And so the experience that I bring to the table, I think, in terms of government, I was blessed to serve for 8 years in the Senate as Director of Operations for State Senator James Welch. I have always been kind of a favorable Democrat, and so I'm proud to support, the elected officials in my city. And I think that although I've never considered at all running for election for any particular office, I consider those individuals completely dedicated and honorable to even want to serve in that capacity. So although it's not my passion, I have always sought out ways to volunteer for things, not necessarily run for election, but to try to serve it in a capacity that helps those that are less fortunate than me. And I think that's what has directed my path to the things that I have been doing now, which is primarily working around bringing equity and access to our local artists, particularly our artists of color in Springfield, and those who offer to express joy and hope through arts in our city, and to lift up the spaces for public art that generate economic development as well for our artists, and break down barriers for those who want to be in the places and spaces to make the decisions around our health challenges. And my work particularly around the intersection of arts and public health is something that I'm very proud of. As program director of Trust Transfer Project, we've gained national attention from the Biden administration as well as the CDC for my program model around how to create opportunities of access for artists to be able to help improve the public health and wellness of cities and communities around the country. And so I find it interesting that I go from the arts to health and wellness, to public safety, to anything that concerns the health and wellness of my neighbors. I'm particularly passionate about. I also serve on many boards. In particular, I'm the president of the board of Blues to Green, where we focus on climate justice, social justice, and keeping arts enrichment in our city, and to elevate music and artists, lives and impact as we serve in the city. And so it's just really like encompassing my whole life. However I can serve, where I'm asked, I always put my heart in and do my best to have the best outcome for all those that are impacted by my decisions, and hope that I represent women of color and business women, female-owned businesses. I just really believe in having equity and access for those that are unable to speak for themselves.
Right.
Well, thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, Vanessa. That was very attention grabbing. And I thank you every time. As you were talking, I was thinking to myself that when I think of Springfield, and I think of people in Springfield, a whole bunch of people comes into mind. So it's like the face of Springfield. And you're definitely one of those, Vanessa, because you have really carved yourself a space in Springfield. And for that, we thank you, and you always bring the city in a positive light, in a dignified light, and for that, not only as a resident, but as a Springfield City Councilor, I say thank you to you. But I do have one question, Vanessa. You are going to be taking a seat on the Springfield Redevelopment Authority, which is a board that has had its share of moments, I'm going to say. A board that it's bringing Springfield to new vision, I think. I think they're doing a good job. And so specifically, my question to you is, and you kind of touched up on it a little bit on your comments. When it comes to, and I forget the name of it, it's not green economy, it's an alternative economy, the economic impact of musicians and arts in the city. That has a name to it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, what musicians that play, that's their living, what economy is that called? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so in other words, how you, the music industry, the entertainment industry, the artist industry, economies.
Yes.
Can you touch up a little bit on that since you have such a strong background in it? What do you see and how does that fit into the SRA and into the future of Springfield?
Thank you. So I think it's so important to have the voices of artists involved in every aspect of our lives, from government to social services, to human services, to healthcare, to mental health and wellness. To every aspect of our lives, we need creative people at the table to help make decisions for purchases and sales of properties. So how to best select the individuals that should be in our city in terms of purchasing and investing. I think it's important to see where we can be as a city from a creative lens. And so sometimes it's not particularly the voice of the artist from the artistic standpoint, but it's the voice of the artist from the lived experience. And oftentimes the lived experience tells the story of what it's like to live in a city where there is no equity, or where we need access to things like transportation, childcare, so that they can work and have a job, or even continue to support opportunities for after-school programs that have arts components, and that we don't lose sight of the fact that we need more development around programs that lift up the arts for our families, and family-oriented experiences in our city that we can be very proud of, and fund those programs so that our families can really activate their lives together and not have to go outside of Springfield to find entertainment, sources of arts and creativity, and also jobs around arts and creativity is needed. And so the way I see artists in Springfield, we have an opportunity to just help everyone to see that there are opportunities for growth and development in every area of our lives. We want to talk to physicians about how to bring wellness as alternative through the arts to your patients. Instead of prescribing medication, we want to help you prescribe social gathering experiences where folks can get together in beautiful spaces of our city and really have a space to get together and share and talk and express and release and be proud of being in a place where we can just really thrive together and not be satisfied with those who are left behind. It's tragic when we see cities that have no place and space for families to enjoy entertainment together and for opportunities for new development of jobs that people never thought were needed in the community, but they bring great healing to our families.
Excellent, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, Councilor Gabon just updated me. It's called gig economy, correct? GIG?
Yep, the gig economy.
Like a gig economy.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. And we have several grants around gig economy, and we have, through the Mass Cultural Council, received tremendous support for Springfield artists who received grants through that, their grants for individual gig artists. Just last year, an overwhelming amount of Springfield artists received first-time funding because we allowed access, we created access for them to be able to apply and be able to successfully receive grants for just support of what they do for their city, whether it be building programs around having children's arts and crafts, or being a poet, or being a writer in the city and contributing to our public schools. We honor that. And so certainly during the pandemic, we saw the effects and impacts of what that did to the lives of our artists, and our artists are giving back to our
Right.
community.
Right. Right. Well, thank you, Vanessa, for that introduction. I appreciate it. I open out to the my colleagues for any questions they may have for you. Anybody?
Through the chair,
Councilor Walsh.
I would just like to say how fortunate I think the city is, especially tonight, to have two such outstanding women wanting to contribute to the city of Springfield, to the Historic Commission, to the SRA, to bringing their expertise. I think it's going to make a big difference. But Vanessa, I never knew you were one of 8.
I am.
Now, tell me about your family. Are they still around?
Well, yes. I have one brother, Carlos, who's in Panama, retired from the military. I have one sister, Eva, that passed away from cancer, but she was a lifelong nurse for over 40 years, a head nurse in Florida. My brother, Edsel, also lifelong member of Springfield, dual membership of Panama, is a wonderful support to me as we lost our father. He kind of became the patriarch of the family. My sister Karen, my sister Audrey, my sister, my brother Andrew and Henry. Notice all those names with cars. I don't know how intentional that was, but I don't know. Ask my parents. But just the last child of parents who really believed in serving others, finding a way to serve the community, and to know that there's a space for all of us to be able to find our space and place in the community and help our neighbors.
Are any of the others musical? Do they have a voice like you?
I would say that everybody is musical, but we just
Oh,
don't
wow.
tap it the way we need. I'm talking about our whole community, everybody. So my family is musical, but I'm the one who, my father believed when I was 11 that singing was the gift that would bring people together. And so he believed that I was anointed and told me to stop playing the flute, stop playing the piano, stop searching for what it is I wanted to do, and to focus on my gift that he believed God gave me. And so when I did that, although I was very young, by the time I was 15, I realized what he was saying was absolutely true. That when we realize that we should really focus on a gift that we have and let that manifest, figure it out, and how we can use it to help others, that's when it really becomes life-changing. So.
And on a last note, on a personal note, I've known Vanessa for a long time, consider her a friend, but I served with her in the Springfield Central Cultural Board, and she has been such a wonderful addition and to that board, and making a difference there with your trust program and representing us in Washington. You are definitely going to be an asset to the SRA. So, yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Councilor Whitfield, you have a question, ma'am?
More of a comment. I've known Vanessa since junior high school or something.
At least.
Years and years, and you've always been a joy, a pleasure. One thing that I wanted to correct that you said is that you always try, and I'm gonna say you always do. You are a doer. You helped me out of a situation with my daughter once. Some things that I'll never forget in certain individuals, and that's certainly true for you. And you've raised an amazing, lovely, beautiful daughter that I
Oh.
love so much. And
Love you
she
too.
is part of our Mason Square C3 team, but a lot of what she has comes directly from you. She has your personality, she has your charm, she has your calmness. She is amazing, just like you are. I don't say all these kind words often, and I don't take them for granted. But I really love you. I really love what you bring to this community, what you've always brought to the city. More than just your voice is you. And on a professional level, you're very professional, and I think that we are blessed to have someone with the legislative experience that you have, because making these decisions are sometimes political, and we got to make sure they're appropriate, and it goes with the legislation and the ordinances and the rules, and so you already got a one up in those areas. And I really think that you love the community, and you will be fair, inclusive, and equitable. And congratulations, you got my vote 1,000 times. 100 times, 1,000 times. So Vanessa, congratulations. I'm glad that you were recommended. And I just want to say I've always admired you, and I still do. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilor Whitfield.
Making me-
Councilor Kwan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Vanessa, you know, it's been said already, at the risk of repeating what everyone said. I think you will definitely be an asset to the Springfield, what is it called? Redevelopment Authority.
That's all right.
Yes, RA. But and on a personal note, of course, I've known you forever. I know your, I think it's your niece Joanne. I know your sister. I don't know if it was your mother or your sister that made my first wedding dress.
My mom.
Okay, so your mom, she made my first wedding dress. I got divorced, of course, but that's okay. It was beautiful.
Okay.
It happens, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, your family has been in the city for a very long time, and I know that with your dedication and your passion, the SRA will continue to move forward. And like, Councilor Whitfield said, an equitable and, professional manner. So I'm definitely, you know, supporting this vote. Thank you so much for being willing to serve.
And her mom custom made my prom dress too, so like, I told her I wanted all these things and she made it happen so quick. I had a cape and it disconnected and all this stuff, so yes, we love you.
I know you guys didn't know that Councilor Whitfield is also a fashion designer.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
I was
Really?
for that, but I am really not.
Okay, now we know something, Councilor Whitfield.
mhm.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you so
Gowan.
much. I appreciate it.
Councilor, Clerk Bruce, do you have a question, sir, or a comment?
Yeah, comment. Thank you, Chair. Really, Vanessa, I'm proud of you. You know, we talk all the time, and your big sister to me, and Chanel took under my wing, and she's doing an excellent job. And like Councilor Whitfield said, it's truly a testament to you, and you raising a great young lady. So again, congratulations. Again, you already know how I feel about you. So again, I look to support this when it comes to the floor. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor Clerk Bruce. Well, with that being said, we are going to have a motion for a positive recommendation of Vanessa Ford for a seat on the Springfield Redevelopment Authority for a term of until April 11th of 2029.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Walsh. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very well, Vanessa, you have been given a positive recommendation by the General Government Subcommittee. We will bring this up to the agenda on May 6th, which is next Monday, along with Dr. Nesport. We do require your presence at that meeting, ma'am, if you could kindly.
Yes.
If you could be here to answer any questions that the regular members of the council could or may have, and at which point I expect you to be fully appointed. as a member of the Springfield Redevelopment Authority. Thank you so much. Any questions for you, Vanessa? And you can finish, floor is yours for any final thoughts.
Gosh, I'm just full of tears today, right now. I appreciate it so much. I thank you for all of your kind words, all of your support. I just hope to return that to you and make you proud as I seek to
Sure you
serve
will, Vanessa, I'm sure
for
you
your
will.
consideration. Thank you to all of you.
We're lucky
Important
to
in my lives in many ways.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you for being here.
Very well, Vanessa, thank you so much. And is there any new business, anything else, councilors wanna talk?
So I think
General
they're
government,
wonderful
no?
additions, and I think they'll fill the quorums,
I agree,
which is important.
which is very important. I
So
agree.
they'll be able to vote on the issues.
Very well. Well, with that being said, adjourning this meeting,